Hello, welcome back to the J Stro Show. I am your host, Jesse Castro. This again is the J Stro Show. Thank you for all the listeners. This is the podcast for your favorite Houston sports. Welcome back again. First off, I hope everybody had a great Super Bowl weekend. I enjoyed the game with the friends and family. And not an exciting game as I expected. Denver pulls out the victory 24-10. I'm going to dive right in it. Cam Newton wasn't as super as we known him to be all season, but the old man Peyton Manning and his defense got it done with the victory. Congratulations to Gary Kubiak, Wade Phillips, Peyton Manning on a pretty much a tremendous season to really go up and down, in the quarterback position and show that a defense can still win a team a championship, because clearly we seen in that game Peyton Manning didn't do what we're most used of him doing and taking over a game and throughout his whole career, everything relying on his shoulders. That defense of that Broncos really took over that game and gave them the victory, which bodes well for your Houston Texans. Us knowing that our strong suit is defense, and to see that a defense can still win a championship for a team shows good things for our Houston Texans. Still need that quarterback, don't get me wrong, but we see that a great defense can take you very far, and as far as the Super Bowl and get that victory. Congratulations again to the Denver Broncos. Y'all did it, and y'all are the Super Bowl champs for 2015 to 2016. What a season it was for the NFL. A year of injuries, of course, like every year. New extra point made it a little bit more exciting. What a year for the NFL. Can't wait for the 2016 season. Of course, the up-and-coming Super Bowl going to be here in our city, our very own city, Houston, Texas. Can't wait for that. Can't wait for the big events for that to come up. And, of course, for our 2016 Houston Texans to start getting rolling. Hopefully we see a new quarterback under the helm. Hopefully we see, a lot of big changes and a lot of needs on the team field. So we're going to give Rick Smith another year and see how he does in this year's draft. Another congratulations to J.J. Watt, a three-time in a row Defensive Player of the Year, 5 years in the league, 3 years being Defensive Player of the Year. That is remarkable. One more will make history. Let's hope J.J. Watt has another monster season, because we do not want to waste another big talent like J.J. Watt, just like we did with Andre Johnson, and wasting all that talent with no quarterback to be able to give him. Let's not hope we waste as much of a great talent that J.J. Watt is, because he's already climbing the ladder to be one of the all-time best Texans to ever play. Of course, a lot to look forward for you Houston Texans moving forward. I'll be sure to be on top of up-to-date news and up-to-date draft status, prospects that are out there. Hopefully all the prospects we need to worry about in the first round is going to be a quarterback, whether we're going to trade up or trade down, whichever the Texans are looking to do. I'll be sure to get y'all the up-to-date news. But again, a lot to look forward upcoming for the NFL season. But of course, our Houston fans have plenty to keep up with. Now on to your Houston Rockets. Rockets, we're continuing to have to put up with this rocky slopes, kind of a season. And honestly, from what I'm seeing, this team just, Dwight says it's just a mental aspect they can't get over. I don't know. I just don't see it in. I respect a lot of what Bickerstaff does, and in ways that he kind of puts players in his place. Like the other night, the Rockets came out flat with the starters, and the starters, came out like they didn't want to play. and sat the whole 5 down and put a whole new five out there. And, respect to Bickerstaff for trying to do that, with this team. But I just don't think it's that part of the game that they're missing. I think this offense is ineffective. I don't think they're running a very effective offense. And I see effort out there in terms of the best we're going to be able to see in terms of defenses. But the offense, this offense that they're trying to run is not working. Teams know what they're trying to do. Teams, they're predictable. Teams know that James Harden's going to have, the ball in his hand majority of the game, and it just makes it tough. This offense has to change. Whether it's the shakeup going to be a new coach, or is Bickerstaff going to be cut off? I really think that that's the X factor at this point, to get a new leader in there, because getting McHale out there and Bickerstaff in there, he's running the same offense that he knew from McHale, and it's just not working. I think there needs to be a whole new offense inputted in this team so they can buy into it and actually see some results from it, because from right now, what we're seeing out there on the court is far from results. Of course, a big game tonight, 9:30, you have the Rockets versus the Warriors, a rematch of the Western Conference Finals. I hear a lot on the radio, a lot of fans out there don't think this is going to be a very competitive game, especially it being in Golden State. And they are currently on a history winning streak there and have not lost since last year. They're on a historic winning streak at home. If we can beat it, that would be unbelievable. But even right now, as a big Rockets fan, I don't see that happening tonight. The Rockets must play a perfect game in order that to happen. Curry must have one of those slum games. Even then, we need to slow down Thompson. They beat us last time without Stephen Curry. So with Stephen Curry in the lineup, a healthy Stephen Curry, a full lineup, it's just Steve Kerr back as head coach. It's going to be tough for the Rockets to pull out a victory tonight against the Golden State Warriors. Let's go over the last 10 games for you Houston Rockets, starting with Wednesday, January 20th, playing the Pistons. Pistons coming to town in Houston. James Harden led the way with 33 points, 14 assists, 17 rebounds, a triple-double across the board. But a great effort in a losing effort, 114-123, falling to the Pistons. Friday, January 22nd, playing the Milwaukee Bucks. James Harden drops 30 points, 8 assists. Capella leads the team with 9 rebounds, leading the Rockets to a 102-98 victory. Great win for the Rockets then. Sunday, January 24th, here in Houston, Dallas Mavericks come to town. Trevor Ariza leads the way with 29 points. James Harden, 10 assists. James Harden, 15 rebounds. The Rockets pull out the victory, 115-104. Monday, January 25th, we hit New Orleans. Rockets pull out a victory by 1 point, 112-111. James Harden leading the way, 35 points, 8 assists, 11 rebounds, just close to a triple-double. Wednesday, January 27th, San Antonio. We hit San Antonio going there. We lose and get Spurs put on a clinic to the Rockets. Shout out to my guy, Craig Kinzer, who is a big-time Spurs fan. Spurs killed the Rockets, 130-99. James Harden, 20 points. Thornton with 3 assists. Dwight Howard, 8 rebounds. When you have your leading assist person with only 3, that's not going to get you any victories. Then with a tough follow-up matchup with the Thunder OKC, we going to Oklahoma City Friday, January 29th. We in a losing effort, 108-116. James Harden with 33 points, 7 assists, leading in assists with 7. Dwight Howard leading the way with 8 rebounds. Then moving on to Saturday, January 30th, a tough loss at home against the Washington Wizards. James Harden dropping 40. James Harden leading with 11 assists and Dwight Howard with 7 rebounds in a losing effort, 122-123. Then they bounce back Tuesday, February 2nd with a win over the Miami Heat, 115-102, one of the best games of the year for the Rockets here at home. James Harden drops 26, leads the way with 14 assists. T. Jones leads the rebounds with 7. Then moving on, they continue the winning streak against the Phoenix Suns Thursday, February 4th in Phoenix. Corey Brewer steps up big off the bench with 24 points. James Harden leads the assists with 6. Dwight Howard leading in rebounds with 16. With a victory over the Phoenix Suns, 111-105. We getting on a back-to-back roll. Then we hit up Portland Trail Blazers, a nemesis of the Rockets, Saturday, February 6th, in a losing effort and a whooping 79-96. James Harden leading the way with 33 points. Corey Brewer with 5 assists, and Dwight Howard with 14 rebounds. Then it leads us back to tonight. We have the Golden State Warriors, the defending NBA champions, with right now who I think is the leading candidate again for MVP, Stephen Curry. I give it where credit's due, but we need to find a way to slow him down tonight if we're going to want to make history and stop the kind of historic run that the Golden State Warriors are on. We must not play hero ball. We must contend to play against the Golden State and play some team ball and team effort. Move the ball, get the ball to Dwight, kick it back out. If the offense y'all want to run needs to be effective, the ball must flow into the hands of the players that they must be in. Another thing that makes tonight's game exciting, former coach Kevin McHale will be on the TNT guest analyst tonight on TNT. So it's great to hear his perspective of the game and see exactly what happened with his debacle and getting fired after 7 games into the season. We'll see how that goes. That makes tonight's game must-see TV. I will be indeed watching to see what he has to say about the Houston Rockets and where they currently stand and how the season's been going for them. Your Houston Rockets currently sitting at the 7th spot in the Western Conference. Currently a game and a half behind the 6th spot Dallas Mavericks, and also a game and a half back from being outside the playoffs, which being in the 9th spot, which Portland currently owns and tied with Utah, actually. We need this Rockets team to gain some traction and start putting some wins together and gaining their confidence back, because right now the Rockets season, we're going to be sitting in this 6th, 7th, 8th spot all season if we're going to be playing how we've been playing all year. In other news today as well, reading up today that confirmed sources that Khloe Kardashian did indeed dump James Harden. So hey, that's some good news to show. James Harden, we don't have to worry about him being in the Kardashian spotlight and having to worry about all the drama that comes with that. Hopefully he can continue to focus. He's been playing on another level, but in that offense we must get things going. But that is good news that we don't have to deal with the Kardashian drama. And as well, I did see him. James Harden did attend the Super Bowl 50. He was there at the game, and they showed pictures of him out that night 2 days before the Warriors. Hopefully that doesn't do anything for him tonight in terms of being hungover or anything. So let's hope James Harden is completely all there tonight and can have a huge game and hopefully pull off a big upset against the Warriors. NFL season is over. Again, congratulations to the Broncos and taking down Cam Newton and the Panthers.